Hi everybody, welcome to this free-to-play playthrough for the Mardi Gras Masquerade 9-hole cup here on the channel. We are up in Master Division, free-to-play only. Please hit thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, totally free to do so. Kingmakers only here. There's one Berserker and one Titan thrown in as well, so you don't need any Kingslayers or Luminaries. It's free entry. You're going to have a nice chance of getting yourself some goodies in the final round. Now, these are qualifying round wins. In Master, you will need to tweak according to your club's balls and play style. And, of course, all importantly, wind angle and speed tweaks according to what you get in the tournament. Take a practice token, get familiar with the setups. Timestamps are in the video description down below. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. Apoc and Thorn needed here with a Kingmaker. With Apoc 5 and 6 at the top of plus 10 yards, blue ring touching the rough on the right, adding spin, 5.8 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the right. If you've got Apoc 4, you will be at P6 max rest with 30% of the blue ring overlapping the rough. Then we adjust our rings and we're going to play this one. Maximum distance, 10%. Elevation, P6 numbers matching the ball that we're using. For me, that is 8.9 rings. Then it's time to take our shot. Just before circle drop, overpower, no curl, just hit perfect. We're going to bounce on the fairway and roll down the next fairway very nicely here. Through the shadows, just towards the end of the shadow. Drive distance is going to be around 366 yards. Second shot, make a back fringe check. Bullseye over the fringe where it meets the green at the back, with the ball guide over the pin before spin. Now, it might take you a bit of time to get used to the setup here, but we want to have the ball guide as straight as possible. Now, for my position here, it's about 0.4 backspin and around 1 left spin, but it will vary. Now, you want to be in that little funnel, and we're having the tip of the ball guide outside the right edge of the cup, because the wind angle is going to push us in to the left. Now, for a +3 fringe check there made at the back of the green, we're going to play this 20% slider with 5% elevation. Pull over the bullseye. A lovely funnel here, but like I said, you've got to find it with the correct position and spins. Try and get that ball guide as straight as possible. Make sure you're in the middle of the funnel. 2% per yard. Video on the Academy tutorial playlist about using reference checks and the slider, and we drop it for the eagle. Par 5 here, we are going with the quarterback to begin with. P6 max stretch with the white ring touching the rough on the left. Then we swap to Apoc and Cataclysm bag. I'm going to keep this cheap with a Titan. I'm only looking to secure the eagle. 5.8 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the right. And then, of course, once we've done all of that, it's time to adjust. We're going to go maximum distance, 0 elevation. Maximum distance, 0 elevation. You might need some wind angle tweaks here if you have more headwind. Suggest a small push-up to make sure you clear the rough, but take a practice token or two. Get used to the setups here and put in some tweaks. Full overpower with a slow needle and 1 ball of curl to the right. Look at the edge of the Titan. It was touching the outside wall of the adjustment ring. Clearing very nicely, not threatening the end rough because it's slightly uphill. Drive distance is going to be around 363. Now, second shot here, we're going with just under 2 top spin and 2 left spin, and I'm setting up with half of the red ring overlapping the rough, giving myself a little bit of room for a great left, as well as not risking the end rough. Now, I check the max line here because I'm going to play this one just a rough estimate. True club distance, if you get a drive similar to mine, you can do the same. 75% on the slider because I think I'm in between mid and max. 7.5 rings in this instance here, but obviously always check your rings according to your wind app and club level. Then we're going to go with 1 ball of left curl, no overpower. This is all about getting safely to the green. If you are unlucky to clip the rough on your drive and roll out, you should still reach, but obviously you would need to set up further back and with more top spin. Getting on nicely onto the green, take the eagle and run with a Titan. Hole in one here on this par 3. We're going to play NMT with the quarterback. 3 backspin and 2 right spin. So quarterback and load that hole with a Kingmaker. It won't really matter though because we're not in plus yards, but to try and do the same as I do in the video. So NMT, just add your spin, adjust, and off you go. Adjustment here is minimum distance with 10% elevation, and we are going to use power 6 numbers. Power 6 numbers. Making our adjustment there, looks like about 9.9 rings for me. And then it's time to take our shot. No overpower, no curl, centre the ball and hit perfect because the wind angle is going to push us in towards the flag. Bouncing very nicely, it will need some wind angle tweaks and indeed a tweak to begin with, just missing on the left edge there on this par 3, but something to work from. Here we're going to play NMT with Apocalypse and a power 6 ball. Then we add our spin, 5 top spin and 3 right spin. Adjust max plus 10, power 6 numbers. If you have APOC 4 after you have adjusted, you would need to push up a total of 1.6 rings. That is because you have slightly less power than APOC 5 and above. Once we've done that, time to take our shot. We're still in plus yards. You could actually push up 6 yards instead rather than counting rings. Half a ball of curl to the right, and I'm going with just before circle drop over power. So line the edge of the Kingmaker up with an imaginary vertical line going down the centre of the tee to get the correct amount of curl. Perfect ball away, and we're going to roll very nicely here, just favouring left side of the fairway. Drive distance 375. Second shot, make a top white ring fringe check, so the top of the white ring touching the beginning of the fringe where it meets the fairway in line with the hole. Then we are adding 3.5 top spin, 1 bar left spin, and with spin added, the bullseye over the first bit of rough with the ball guide going nicely through the hole. Take your time, get your position correct here. We are going to make an adjustment for a plus 6 check with sniper 10. That will be plus 8 with sniper 9. And we're going to play 60% slider, minus 10 elevation. There is a small tweak here that I've given you on the notepad and in the commentary. Unfortunately, I hit a minor great left here. However, I do believe a perfect with the tweak I've mentioned would have been in. So build from that if you can. Like I said, apologies for the great left, but it is great safe on either side. Perfect ball will have a very good chance indeed for the rough bump albatross. Now, I myself am not on any guide teams. I only have a couple of looks at these holes to get you the free content. If you want dialed-in shots by a brilliant team of shot creators led by Golf Clash Tommy, head over to his Patreon. You get 10% off any monthly package with my discount code BK Golf, and that also includes the new Quick 9 monthly package that Tommy is selling. If you want to get yourself some Quick 9 guides with tournament wins in Master, paid balls and free-to-play balls on a lot of these options on these holes. Plenty to choose from, lovely dialed-in shots. Head over there, get yourself a package, use my code, 10% off. We're going full blast here with a Berserker trying to drive to green. With APOC 5 and 6, blue ring touching that dark sand, you can see where the water comes and just touches the blue ring. That's the reference I'm looking at P10 max stretch. Obviously different ring references for different levels of APOC. APOC 4, you'd have 30% of the blue ring. You'd need to stretch out 1.7 rings though to find your position, and of course after you adjust you then need to push up more rings or more yards. Max plus 10 and power 10 numbers. Pull 5 rings first because it's awkward to see with those bushes in the way, and then the remaining rings. It was a total of 12.2 for me. Now, in this wind angle and strength, I'm going to push up to the top of plus 24 yards. You will need to vary that push up according to your wind angle and wind strength. So that's all for you to do some personal tweaks on. APOC 4, you then obviously have to push to max. A ball and a half of right curl. It's going to be a fairly shaky needle. Minor grates on either side will be fine. Full overpower. Hit perfect. I would actually increase to 1.2 top spin, just because you'll see where it finishes on the green here. It's probably a slightly longer putt than we'd like. So maybe 1.5 bars of top spin might be better as well. On this par 3, we're going to set up with the Berserker and the quarterback. And I'm having the clear ring touching the bunker on the left at P10 min line. I then switch to my Kingmaker and add spin. We are going to go with 2.4 back spin and 3 right spin. Adjustment is 1-to-1 plus 0.3. So that is, for a wind of 11.4, going to be 11.7 rings. Now, in very high winds with the Kingmaker, you might pull off the edge of the piece of land here and slightly adjust down the cliff. You may need to compensate with some overpower if possible, or if you can, switch to a wind 8 ball. We don't really want to be adjusting down the cliff. We're going with circle drop overpower there to compensate for the headwind. No curl, hitting perfect, and this is going to catch into the rough very nicely. Great safe either side and room above and below, dropping it for the hole in one. We're going to go with setting up with the APOC before spin here. Top of +6, ball guide pointing in the middle of that narrow piece of fairway. +12 will be your plus yards with APOC 4. Then we're adding spin. 5.8 top spin, 2 bars of left spin. Adjustment is going to be max distance with 10% elevation. Power 6 numbers because we are using a power 6 ball here. This is going to set up a shot with the Grizzly, so make sure you've got that one packed. Just over 9 rings, my adjust here, but obviously use a wind app. Calculate yourself according to your wind strength and club accuracy. Full overpower, slow needle, good chance of hitting perfect, and no curl needed at all. Just straight down the middle of the fairway, bouncing in the centre, rolling down here, and we're getting a good roll out here, approaching that little bit of rough up ahead. Drive distance of around 390. Second shot, we're going to make a fringe check, and I'm having the bullseye where the fringe meets the fairway. +2 shown there with Grizzly 9 will be +5 with Grizzly 8. 5 backspin. Make sure you've got enough backspin on your club though. With spin added, the final bounce just left of the cup. In the video here, this is a miss, so I'm giving you a tweak based on the miss. And for a fringe checker +2, I would recommend you play 72% slider, 30% elevation. It is going to be a fair amount of rings, so make sure you allow enough time to pull your rings here. Check that you've got enough backspin on your club as well. Grizzly 9 is fine. You would need to check, though, for lower levels of Grizzly. And then it's time to take our shot now once we've adjusted. Centre the ball, hit perfect. Like I said, slight miss here, but the adjustment I've given you should get you on your way to dropping it. Might need a further tweak. It's a lot of elevation here. Just under adjusting that one. Hole in one here, and we're going to play at P6 max rest line with the blue ring touching the rough there on the right with the sniper level 10. 3 back spin, 3 left spin. Sniper 9, you're going to be out of range for this shot, unfortunately, so you would need to play with a higher power ball because you have 2 yards less power. Adjustment here is medium distance, 20% elevation, and we are using power 4 settings. First pull of 6 rings over the bullseye, remaining rings also going to be pulled in this instance over the bullseye. Worked out at another 6 rings. It was a 12 ring total here. Centering the ball here, subject to any wind angle tweaks, of course, which you will need to build in yourself on these par 3s particularly, and up in Master as well. You've got a good chance of dropping for the hole in one, and eventually we see the ball go in the hole. Load this hole with a power 2 ball, such as a Navigator and your Apocalypse. We're going to play NMT, and then we switch to our Kingmaker and add spin. 5 top spin, 3 left spin, adjust max +15. And we are using power 6 numbers in this instance. If you have APOC 4 after you adjust, you will then push up 1.6 rings. So max +15. Time to take our shot. We're going to go with full overpower. It's a slow needle. And we're going with 1 ball of left curl. Line up the edge of the Kingmaker with the outside wall of the shot circle. Hit perfect. Going to bounce very nicely before the rough on that little high part of the fairway. Rolling down here, getting some good distance, setting up an attempt with our sniper at the rough bump. Albatross. Drive distance around 410. Make a top white pin check here if you can. It's hard to see, but have the top of the white ring touching the pin with the ball guide in line with the hole. +9 given there. Then we are adding 1 top spin and 3 right spin, setting up with the ball guide as shown. However, I do miss high here, so I would back up your landing position by a couple of clicks. Have the tip of the ball guide maybe pointing just to the lower half of the cup as a suggested tweak. +9 with sniper 10 would have been +11 with sniper 9. Both of those instances going to play this one mid, -10. So 50% on the slider, -10 elevation here. No overpower, no curl, no underpower, just a small tweak needed. This rough bump will be great safe either side, and you will get safely onto the green, even with a great ball. And if you get lucky, you might drop the albatross here as well. Bouncing in the rough, we want to catch the slope and fall for the albatross, but if not, you've got a very, very easy putt for your eagle. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.